Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of The Movie Social. We are your hosts, Ricky and Stefan.
What up, what up, what up?
Today's episode, we're going to be doing a spoiler review of the new movie, The New Mutants.
Out in theaters.
Finally, it has finally released. If you have not watched the movie yet, you can check out our spoiler-free review. And if you have watched it, let's get down to business. So, from the start, it was phenomenal. It starts off with them running. You just see craziness happening. And then it just basically blacks out for her. You hear the growling and all. That part was crazy and good. But
Agreed.
For the most of the movie, it took place in one spot, small little cast. So, to me, this seemed like more of a lower budget one, but it also gave it the ability to be great, and it did. Honestly, I would put that over The Dark Phoenix, Days of Futures Past, and a few of the other more recent X-Men movies. This would be up there as one of the top X-Men movies, if you ask me. From the cinematography, the special effects, their powers and abilities were phenomenal. Especially being able to make up your own world and draw a sword and have armor and having a dragon.
Her power was the best power. I mean,
that was the second best.
The second best, because no, where hers is the second, like, let me rephrase. Hers is the first one to be able to control. Mm-hmm. The other one is the most powerful one because you basically have your dreams and nightmares coming at you. Yo, so for me, it would basically be like a spider trying to eat me.
I don't know. What would be my nightmare? I don't know. I would have to actually experience it to find out.
Yeah.
No, but honestly, though, that would be terrifying. Having your worst fear be forced upon you and relive over and over again. It reminds me of Lucifer for a moment, where you're stuck in hell and you relive your death over and over again. It's crazy.
It is definitely crazy, man. This movie was great. I did not have high expectations, honestly, because I didn't know that, like, the cast was so small, and I didn't know what to expect. But man, like, when you go into something with low expectations and it just exceeds your expectations and blows it out of the water, it makes things so much better. I enjoyed the cast. I enjoyed the storytelling, the cinematography, the transformation for one of the characters when she can actually transfer into a wolf. That was dope. And how she can transfer parts of her body to the wolf and not her whole body. Like the part where she like transferred her ear to hear. And then she transferred like her claws, her hands to basically claws and eyes to see better. That is a great power. Then you have the power that we was talking about with the sword and the arm and going into what's called limbo, as she called it, and being able to like have her dragon, her pet dragon, essentially like her puppet, turn into an actual dragon, which was dope. The other powers had his moments, like
they were useful.
Yeah, they were useful. Like the one guy basically is like the Human Torch, essentially, pretty much. And then you have the other gentleman who basically vibrates sound.
And super fast.
And super fast, yeah. So like it basically just makes like he can just vibrate himself to like push you back with like a big blast. And it was a really good movie, and it basically like lended itself to hopefully blend with the Marvel universe of them possibly meeting the X-Men since Marvel has the X-Men now.
We know
hopefully
Disney put an X on this. This was going to be the last one before they redo X-Men. But who knows? If the turnout and the finances is great, who knows? Maybe they might say, we'll find a way to tie it in. Because I hope they do, because it was great. It was phenomenal. And then even the plot twist of the so-called doctor that was there turning out to have powers herself was crazy. And the fact that they weren't molding them to get better, to go out on their own. They were molding them to basically become pillars for them, for their company. And it actually tied into Logan. Because I don't know if you recall for Logan when they broke people out. Yeah, that was Logan when they broke the kids out of the facility.
Yeah.
It was the same company, and she actually had flashbacks of that facility in those scenes. Well, not flashbacks, going into the doctor's mind when she's bringing out her fears.
Yeah, man. And to answer your question about the budget was $67 million. So you wouldn't think that's not a lot to me.
Not compared to most Marvel movies.
Marvel movies. You're absolutely correct. I wholeheartedly agree. I enjoyed this film. As you've seen in our non-spoiler, I definitely gave it an 8 out of 10. The only reason why I didn't give it a 9 out of 10, I just want them to like find some way to continue this. I know that you put a kibosh on it, but please find a way to make more gritty X-Men movies, because the whole thing about X-Men isn't all peaches and cream like the other ones would think. Like, with the whole concept of Professor Xavier and Magneto isn't as cut and dry. I feel like it's a lot more grittier than what some of the past renditions gave, and this can link to that grittiness of the series.
Well, who knows? Because we do know for sure Deadpool is going to stay under the MCU properly, with Ryan Reynolds playing him.
They would be so dumb not to.
Guaranteed to probably get an R rating still.
They need it.
And so who knows? Maybe they do pick this still up and continue that with heavy, darker ones. I know Disney has been shying away from doing these hard R's and stuff like that, but they've started to edge that way with the MCU in a way with their films. So never know.
Yeah, man.
But this was phenomenal.
It was, but there's definitely some films that needs to be R when it comes to superhero movies or like mutant videos and movies and stuff, simply because of the nature of that particular character. Like, for example, I believe a R-rated Blade movie would kill it in this new age. And I know they are working, I believe they're working on Blade, but they need to make it a R, because if they make it R, it's going to be up there, man, with the Deadpool.
I guess it depends on how they spin it. Where he comes in the MCU at what point and everything else. Who knows?
Maybe we'll see him during Morbius. Ooh.
I doubt it, since Sony owns those. Unless they work out a deal to
shake hands, kiss again.
They have the deal with Spider-Man. I don't know when they redid their deal to extend him for the third film and everything else. I don't know if they added anything else into it. You never know. Maybe.
But that would be so
I would
great.
love to have seen him in Morbius.
Not only that, like you see him in Morbius, like in a post-credit scene or something like that. That would be so dope.
Of course. Well, because we know his movies isn't for another 4 or 5 years.
Mm-hmm.
But we are supposed to see Venom and Morpheus, which we'll be getting into those as we get closer to those releases.
Yes, sir.
But back to New Mutants. It was phenomenal. If you have not seen it, you should be going to see it in theaters. We took the risk, and it was a worthwhile risk to watch the movie.
I mean, I'm not going to say we took a risk because we literally had our mask on the entire movie.
Be sure to check out our, not review, but our explanation, discussion, and our reactions to watching the movie during the pandemic in theaters. How did it make us feel and everything else. We'll be doing a whole deep dive into that. But all in all, this was phenomenal. From the bear, the giant bear, to the little wolf.
To the faceless men.
Yo. Yo. All I'm going to say is, are you guys ready for Halloween? Because this is bringing horror and Halloween vibes all over again.
Agreed. Wholeheartedly agree, man.
This might be one of the darkest Marvel movies we've seen in a long time.
Agreed.
Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. Thanks for watching. Till next time.